Hi, it's Karen, and today I want to talk to you about something that seems very sweet and innocent, yet it actually can be pulling on your energy in a way that really is not helping you, probably not in the ways that you think at least, and that is sentimentality. Some of us may be more sentimental than others, and we see that as kind of a sweet quality when we look back and feel sentimental about a certain time or a certain event in our lives. However, I want you to think about this. When you have a moment of sentimentality, where is your mind going? Right? Your mind is not in the present moment. You're sending your mind and your energy back to an old timeline, if you will, a time long before this moment. And usually, when we go back to those moments with that feeling of being sentimental, it actually comes from a feeling of lack or a feeling of wanting for something that we once had that we no longer have. Now, if you think about that, is that an uplifting energy? Is that going to bring energy to you by thinking about something you don't have? By longing for something that isn't in your present moment life? No. So sentimentality actually is an energy drain. And for those of you who feel sentimental often, that might not hit really so happily. But if you really think about it and follow the energy and follow the logic and the arc of sentimentality, you'll see that there is definitely truth in those statements. Sentimentality takes away, it doesn't give. What really is a kind of a nice substitute, if you will, for feeling sentimental or speaking about it or going back to those old moments that you loved or missed or longed for is to stay in the present moment with appreciation. Now, appreciation of what is here now, it keeps you in the present moment. You're not sending energy back to another timeline. And appreciation is not coming from a sense of longing or lack. Appreciation is coming from a sense of fullness, of more than enough. And why is that? Well, because it's grabbing your attention enough for you to feel like, wow, I appreciate that. I appreciate a beautiful sunny day. I appreciate when I have food in my refrigerator. I appreciate when I go into the garage and start up my car and look at the gas tank and it's 3/4 full, right? I appreciate when I'm cold in the morning and I can turn the heat on. So there's so many little things that I appreciate that keep me in the present moment. And because they come from sort of that fuller cup template, it makes me feel more and more uplifted. So appreciation will keep you in the present moment, and it will continue to remind you of fullness, not lack. It will remind you of abundance, about having more than enough instead of not enough. From those aspects, I'd like you to consider using appreciation rather than going backwards. Now, you can appreciate a moment that happened in the past, but I want to address a really smart way for you to do that so that it actually will bring forward even more positive energy. And that is to send love back to those moments that you hold in your own memory that feel lovely and feel wonderful, the ones that you're sentimental about. Think about those, but send love to those moments. Because love isn't taking away. Love is in abundance. Love is cup overflowing. Love is generous. And it makes us feel uplifted and held. So sending love to the past is a lovely way to really nourish that moment and to add to that moment in a way that when it comes forward into the present and you think of it in the present and you feel it in the present, it's not a feeling of lack or longing. It's a feeling of joy and love and overflow. Now, this whole idea about love, I'm going to do another video on this too, because it is really, really important. And this is something that continues to come up in my communings in the morning with Spirit. And I have my journal and I sit, and beautiful things come to me almost on a daily basis that are powerful, and just new perspectives that I've never really grasped on my own before. This is where most of my information comes from, is just the urgings from Spirit to tell me what I'm to talk about and what I'm to share with you. So we want to leave sentimentality in the background. We want to stay in appreciation in the present moment. But I want you to think about love in a way where it can be sent back to the past, just to, as almost like a cherry on top of the wonderful events of the past that you were once sentimental about, so that you can avoid that feeling of energy drain. You can avoid that feeling of longing, and instead replace that feeling by sending love with joy, with upliftment, and with a sense of true fullness of heart. That, if you think about it, is a very self-honoring choice, because self-honoring choices are uplifting. They bring energy to you. They don't take energy from you. And that's just one more way to live the self-honoring lifestyle. Thanks for watching.